Hello and welcome to a special edition of the OB report of the Leadership Development and Practice by Group 4. This is Shyam Sadasivan from the Judge Business School in Cambridge. I have Andy Jones here with me, who's going to tell us a little bit about what the group has been up to. Andy, what has the group been doing?
Well, Shyam, we've taken a leadership brand article from the Harvard Business Review, which talks about leaders as the kind of people who embody the promises their companies make to their customers. To build this capability, our article suggests some key principles. As a prerequisite, firms must master what we call the leadership code. Leaders must master strategy, be able to position the firm for continued success with customers. Next, that they must be able to execute and organisational systems that work to deliver results and make that change happen.
So how does this tie up with the idea of leadership brand?
They must manage today's talent and nail the prerequisites of leadership. A brand takes a long time to build, and this is the same for leadership programmes. Firms must be able to connect their executives' abilities with the reputation that's trying to be established. Building a leadership brand begins with a clear statement that connects what the firm wants to be known for by its best customers. The article suggests assessing leaders against the statement of leadership brand and the company's objectives. They need to continually evaluate individuals to make sure that they are living up to these values. This also requires firms to assess leaders more from the customer's point of view. Some businesses even let their customers and investors do the teaching. Finally, and most importantly, firms need to track the long-term success of their leadership efforts.
Thank you, Andy. That sounds really interesting. I wonder what that would mean applied to a practical situation. Let's see. I'm now with Mark Yanu, who's going to tell us about what the group has done applying this idea to a practical situation, practical real-life situation. Mark, what can you tell us?
Well, we looked at the NHS here in the UK. The NHS has developed a leadership framework. This framework provides a consistent approach to leadership development for staff in healthcare, regardless of discipline, role, or function, and represents the foundation of leadership behavior throughout the NHS. The framework consists of 7 domains, 5 of which are geared towards clinicians, 2 for senior leaders.
You know, that sounds like a load of EMBA fluff to me. What does that mean in real life?
Well, I won't disagree with you there. Let me give you an example. NHS East of England runs an Aspiring Directors Development Program. It supports aspiring directors in their current roles and prepares them for more senior positions. Evidence from the program has been positive, as 300 candidates have participated so far, with many more moving on to more senior positions.
Thank you, Mark. I wonder what the class thinks about this. Thanks a lot for your feedback on the survey, and I'm now curious to find out the results. I'm now with Sherry Zilberman, who's been rallying the troops and getting people to vote on the survey, and I'm now very curious to find out what the results are. Sherry, what did you find out?
Well, we took a survey of the 2011 EMBA class to check how the companies we work for rank with regard to leadership brand. Interestingly, the great majority of companies are very aware of the target customers and have taken the basic steps to address this in their mission statements. However, only half of those companies have taken the next steps and translated that leadership brand into a list of desired leadership actions.
So what kind of actions are we talking about? What do they need to do?
Well, very few of the companies have gone as far as doing anything about it. Only 25% of companies identify the gaps in the development of the next generation of leaders or verify that their leadership development plans include acquiring the skills that matter to the target customers. In short, the companies seem to have identified the need for leadership brand, but fail to perform the steps to implement that brand.
Thank you, Sherry. That's very interesting. So we have so far seen what the leadership brand idea is, what the class thinks about it, and also about the NHS, which is an organization in England. Let's see what the different cultural perspective of this would be. I'm here with Eldar Adilzadeh from Azerbaijan. Eldar, do you have a different idea about what leadership can be?
Yes, I think in Azerbaijan, understanding of leadership can be different. Person who is showing behaviors that can be considered leadership behavior in Western countries like UK, for example, a person who is trying actively communicate with others, provide and seek feedbacks, can be considered annoying in countries like mine.
So somebody from the West in Azerbaijan, for example, how do they find out if their leadership is actually effective? Does something like a 360 feedback work?
Actually, I think doing self-assessment and 360 feedbacks may not work in Azerbaijan. In Azerbaijan and in Azerbaijan, personal relations are much more important for people than professional relations. Therefore, it will be very difficult to get honest feedback from your colleagues. Feedback that would be really based on your performance, not on your personal relations with that particular person. And in my country, every critique or any mark but the highest can be considered offensive.
Thank you, Eldar. So in summary, we've seen what the NHS leadership framework is and the idea of a leadership brand, and found out through the survey that the successful firms represented in our MBA class do take leadership seriously and have plans to develop senior management, but probably need to take more concrete actions to get there. The leadership brand idea tells us that focus on customers is essential to this plan, and we do highly recommend this for the NHS to implement into their leadership framework. Thank you for listening to us. It's been great talking to you. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.